mystical experience when I was about 21, 22. It was an out-of-body experience. And during that out-of-body experience, I was floating over my body, and I was amazed at the incredible engineering behind my body, and at the same time I'm separated from it. So the idea of a soul, me being a soul, became very real. That it wasn't my body, that became very real, at least while I was out of it. And looking at the incredible engineering of my body as I was looking at it, I knew there had to be a God. But of course, I instinctively felt there was some danger out there. And that was probably what caused me to go back into my body. So the whole thing came as a big surprise to me. I wasn't planning an out-of-body experience. I wasn't on any drugs at the time. So I considered it a descent of grace. So as I advanced through the years, I realized when I had that out-of-body experience, I didn't have any lust. I didn't have any aches and pains. So a lot of these things that trouble the mind are not part of the eternal scene of the soul. Just having that glimpse, I can draw on it and withdraw myself from the idea that I'm my mind, that I'm my body on some level. I mean, I still react. It's hard to give up that conditioning. But at the same time, I know I'm not the body and not the mind. It's just them doing their thing. And of course, I give in to the illusion. The illusion energy is very powerful. But at the same time, I'm not in the same kind of ignorance that I was, before I had that out-of-body experience. And since then, I've had my own mystical experiences. Of course, this is supposed to help people, so I guess I can talk about my own mystical experiences. In India, I've seen the deities seem to come to life and had a very human form and a big smile, and that was at Balaji Temple. And then when I went to the...
Where is Balaji?
That's Tirupati in South India, in Andhra Pradesh. It's the wealthiest temple in India, and the deity grants people's wishes, so many people have had their wishes fulfilled there. So it's a very popular temple. And the other place was at Pandharpur, which was where I actually heard the voice of the deity. A good friend of mine, Nistragunya, had gone there and told me, it's a very ancient deity. It's a 5,000-year-old deity. And that you can put your head at the feet of the deity. So I was videotaping for this film on the Vaishnava culture that I was assembling, and I decided to visit that temple. It was a very important temple, especially in Maharashtra. And I went there and I put my head at the feet of the deity expecting something mystical would happen, and nothing happened. So I started walking out. I visited the other deities which were next door, in the next sanctum, and then I started going out, and then I was at this sanctum where not the sanctum, but the place where the Garuda Stamba is, the perch of Garuda, the bird carrier of God. And in that room, you can still see the inner sanctum where the deity was. The deity is Vital. And something made me stop and close my eyes, and I heard this very beautiful voice. And the voice said, chant, be happy, and love everyone as I do. And I knew it was in my own mind. I wasn't creating something like that, because in love everyone as I do, I mean, to love everyone as Krishna does, that's the ultimate in spiritual advancement. Because the nature of the material world is, you're always subjected to the desires of the mind and the senses. And here you have to love people like God, beyond the temporary material body and mind and their conditioning. And that, to me, I knew was God speaking, because I never say that to myself. I never put myself in that position. Oh yeah, there's, according to the Gallup poll, 47 or 48% of the people in America feel they've had a personal communion with a personal God. So it's not that unusual, I guess, and that's only people who admit it. And what their experience is, I don't know, is very subjective. But these mystical experiences are not that rare. Of course, modern culture doesn't encourage you to acknowledge those experiences as real. But anyway, it was real enough for me. And I've had other mystical experiences over time, but those were pretty dynamic. And